If your erections aren't as firm as they used to be, if fatigue has become a daily struggle, and if you're avoiding intimacy, not because you want to, but because your body simply isn't responding the way it once did, I want you to listen closely to what I'm about to share with you. The cause of these frustrating changes may not be aging alone. In fact, it could be something far more manageable than you think. A deficiency in 3 key vitamins that your body quietly depends on for optimal blood flow, proper hormonal balance, and efficient energy production at the cellular level.
Hi, I'm Dr. Claire Reynolds, and I'm a specialist in urology and men's health. For over a decade, I've dedicated my practice to helping men improve their performance, protect their prostate health, and feel their absolute best at any age. After working with thousands of men over 60, I can tell you this with complete confidence. I've witnessed countless men successfully reclaim the strength, drive, and sexual vitality they thought were lost forever. Here's what might surprise you. It doesn't always require a prescription medication to turn things around. Sometimes the most powerful transformation begins with simply correcting nutritional deficiencies that are surprisingly common in men over 60, yet frequently overlooked by both patients and healthcare providers alike. The truth that I've discovered through years of clinical practice is that many men don't actually lack desire or motivation. What they lack is proper circulation throughout their body. They lack optimal mitochondrial energy production at the cellular level. They lack adequate hormonal support for their natural testosterone production. And more often than not, the root cause of all these interconnected issues is hidden within their nutritional status, specifically deficiencies and vitamins that are absolutely critical for male vitality. Today, I'm going to walk you through 3 essential vitamins that every man over 60 should not only understand, but should prioritize in his daily health routine. I'll explain exactly how these nutrients work together synergistically to restore healthy erectile function, support natural testosterone production, and revive the kind of natural energy you remember having in your younger years.
I'll also cover the most common mistakes that men make when they're trying to address these deficiencies on their own. And more importantly, I'll show you exactly how to avoid these costly errors that can prevent you from seeing the results you're looking for. Let's start with the deficiency I encounter most frequently in my practice, a nutrient that your body once produced easily when exposed to sunlight, but now struggles to manufacture adequately as you age. When levels of this vitamin drop too low, circulation throughout your body decreases, energy levels fade dramatically, and sexual performance suffers as a direct consequence. I'm talking about vitamin D, which is often called the sunshine vitamin, but for men specifically, I prefer to think of it as the foundation of physical strength, sexual stamina, and overall confidence in your body's ability to perform. I hear virtually the same story in my medical practice almost every single week. A man walks into my office. He's typically sharp, disciplined, and health conscious, but he's deeply frustrated with what's happening to his body. "Doctor," he'll say to me, "I still want to be intimate with my partner, but my body just won't respond the way it used to, no matter what I try." And here's what I tell him. Before we even begin discussing prescription medications or more invasive treatments, we're going to take a comprehensive look at your vitamin D levels, because this single nutrient might hold the key to everything you're experiencing. Vitamin D is honestly one of the most misunderstood and dramatically underestimated nutrients when it comes to maintaining male vitality throughout the aging process. Most men automatically associate vitamin D with bone strength or immune system health, and while those connections are absolutely valid, the research clearly demonstrates that its impact on erectile function is both direct and profound.
Multiple peer-reviewed studies, including groundbreaking research published in the prestigious Journal of Sexual Medicine, conclusively show that vitamin D plays a central and irreplaceable role in determining how effectively your blood vessels can dilate when they need to. This physiological process matters enormously because achieving and maintaining an erection is fundamentally a vascular event. It's all about blood flow dynamics. If your blood vessels aren't sufficiently flexible and responsive to the signals your body sends them, blood simply cannot fill the erectile chambers of the penis properly, regardless of how much desire or mental stimulation you might have. Here's the precise biological mechanism of how this process works in your body. When vitamin D levels drop below optimal ranges, your body produces significantly less nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the crucial signaling molecule that instructs blood vessels throughout your body to relax and expand, allowing for increased blood flow to specific areas. This is literally how blood gets directed to the penis in the first place during sexual arousal. So if you're deficient in vitamin D, you're almost certainly also deficient in nitric oxide production. And without adequate nitric oxide circulating in your system, achieving firm, lasting erections becomes progressively more difficult to accomplish and maintain throughout intimate encounters. The clinical data on this issue is quite sobering. Research indicates that over 40% of men over the age of 60 are clinically deficient in vitamin D. That percentage rises even higher during winter months among men with darker skin tones, and particularly among those who spend the majority of their day working indoors under artificial lighting. What this means from a practical clinical standpoint is straightforward but serious. Your blood vessels simply aren't functioning at their optimal capacity, and your sexual performance is directly reflecting that underlying vascular dysfunction. But here's the encouraging news that I love sharing with my patients. Reversing a vitamin D deficiency is actually one of the most accessible and effective interventions you can implement to restore healthy circulation and improve erectile responsiveness throughout your body. Something as simple as getting 15 to 20 minutes of direct morning sunlight on your skin, incorporating more fatty fish into your weekly meal plan, choosing fortified dairy products, or, when necessary, supplementing with a high-quality vitamin D3 formulation can restore your levels to where they need to be for optimal male health. And when that restoration happens, and I've seen this transformation countless times in my practice, men consistently report experiencing more sustained energy throughout the day, significantly better mental clarity and focus, and notably firmer, more reliable erections during intimate moments. This isn't some kind of medical magic or placebo effect. This is simply human physiology functioning exactly the way it's designed to function when it has the nutritional building blocks it requires. But while proper circulation forms the foundation of sexual health, it's only half of the complete equation. You also need sustained cellular energy to support and maintain that improved blood flow. That's precisely where our second essential nutrient becomes absolutely crucial to the entire process. I'm referring to vitamin B12, and the deficiency patterns I observe are remarkably consistent across my patient population. I encounter this scenario constantly in my practice. A man in his 60s or 70s sits across from my desk and says, "Doctor, I'm eating what I consider to be a healthy, balanced diet. I'm getting a full 8 hours of sleep every night, but I still feel completely drained and exhausted most of the time. My mind feels constantly foggy, and I don't feel mentally sharp like I used to. And honestly, when it comes time to be intimate with my wife, I simply don't have the physical or mental energy to perform." What he's describing is a textbook presentation of vitamin B12 deficiency, and it represents one of the most commonly overlooked health problems I encounter in men over 60. The symptoms are often attributed to normal aging, when they're actually indicating a very treatable nutritional deficiency. Vitamin B12 serves as an absolutely essential cofactor for energy production at the most fundamental cellular level throughout your entire body. It's the nutrient your body relies on to efficiently convert the food you eat into usable cellular energy, not just for your muscles and physical performance, but also for optimal brain function, healthy hormone synthesis, and sustained sexual performance capacity. You could theoretically maintain a perfect diet filled with all the right foods and still feel chronically exhausted if your body cannot convert those nutrients efficiently into the energy your cells can actually use. And that's exactly the frustrating situation that develops when B12 levels fall below optimal ranges. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition demonstrates that inadequate B12 levels directly contribute to persistent fatigue, mental brain fog, and poor physical endurance, even in men whose other laboratory values appear completely normal on standard blood work. Here's something that most men never realize about B12's role in their body. This vitamin is also absolutely critical for healthy red blood cell formation and maturation. Red blood cells are the vehicles responsible for carrying life-giving oxygen to your brain, your muscles, and crucially, to your genital tissues. If you don't have sufficient numbers of healthy, properly functioning red blood cells circulating through your system, oxygen delivery throughout your body slows down dramatically, and consequently, everything else begins to slow down as well. You feel mentally heavy, emotionally dull, and physically sluggish. You're not broken or permanently damaged. You're simply underpowered at the cellular level, operating without the fuel your body requires for peak performance. Now, here's where this issue becomes particularly tricky for men as they age. Our natural ability to absorb vitamin B12 from food sources drops significantly with each passing year. Even if you're consistently eating plenty of meat, eggs, or dairy products, all excellent sources of B12, your stomach may no longer be producing adequate amounts of intrinsic factor, a specialized compound that's absolutely necessary for proper B12 absorption in the digestive tract. Clinical studies reveal that 30% or more of adults over 60 experience some measurable level of B12 malabsorption, even when their dietary intake appears completely adequate on paper. This absorption issue explains why so many men over 60 report that persistent fatigue, mental cloudiness, or diminished libido seem to appear seemingly out of nowhere without any obvious lifestyle changes. Often, what feels like inevitable aging is actually correctable nutritional deficiency that can be addressed with the right intervention approach. The solution for most men involves daily supplementation with vitamin B12 in the form of methylcobalamin, which is the active bioavailable form that your body can immediately utilize without requiring additional conversion processes. For men with more significant digestive issues or severe deficiencies, periodic B12 injections administered under proper medical supervision may prove more effective for rapidly restoring optimal levels. Multiple clinical studies demonstrate that when B12 levels are properly restored to optimal ranges, men consistently report experiencing clearer, sharper thinking, dramatically improved energy levels throughout the day, stronger and more consistent libido, and an overall renewed sense of vitality and enthusiasm for life. But there's still one more critical piece of this nutritional puzzle that we need to address, and it's a significant one that many men and even healthcare providers tend to overlook. Even if your blood is flowing optimally throughout your body, and even if your cellular energy production is returning to healthy levels, your blood vessels still require ongoing protection from oxidative stress and chronic inflammation. Additionally, your natural hormone production systems still need stability and support to function at their best capacity. That's where vitamin E enters the picture, as an essential component of comprehensive male health optimization. In my clinical practice, I regularly meet men who appear to be doing everything correctly from a health standpoint. They maintain consistent exercise routines, they eat clean, nutrient-dense diets, they prioritize sleep and stress management, and they take excellent care of themselves overall. Yet despite all these positive lifestyle choices, they still come to me saying, something just feels off about how I'm functioning. My motivation levels are down from where they used to be. I'm not recovering from workouts or stress like I did in the past. I just don't feel like myself anymore. More often than not, these health-conscious men are missing a critical but underappreciated player in comprehensive male health optimization: vitamin E. Vitamin E functions as a potent antioxidant throughout your body. What this means in practical terms is that it helps protect your cells, tissues, and organs from the damaging effects of oxidative stress and chronic low-grade inflammation, two of the most destructive and silent forces driving age-related decline in circulation quality, testosterone production, and overall sexual performance. Groundbreaking research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology clearly demonstrates that oxidative stress directly contributes to endothelial damage, which progressively weakens blood vessel function throughout the body. Additionally, chronic oxidation leads to significant disruptions in natural hormone production processes, with testosterone being particularly vulnerable to these negative effects. That's right. Chronic low-grade inflammation and cellular oxidation can directly impair your body's natural ability to manufacture and effectively utilize testosterone, even if your hormone-producing glands are otherwise healthy. Vitamin E acts as a protective shield for your cardiovascular and endocrine systems. It helps maintain blood vessel flexibility and responsiveness. It actively supports healthy circulation patterns throughout your body. And since erectile function depends almost entirely on robust, reliable blood flow to the penis, this makes vitamin E one of the truly unsung heroes of male sexual health optimization. But the benefits of adequate vitamin E levels extend far beyond circulation support. Vitamin E also provides crucial support for Leydig cell function. These are the specialized cells located in your testicles that are directly responsible for producing testosterone. After age 60, when natural testosterone levels typically drop by approximately 1 to 2% per year, this protective effect becomes even more critical for maintaining hormonal health and sexual function. Studies published in Fertility and Sterility conclusively show that men who maintain sufficient vitamin E levels consistently demonstrate stronger, more stable hormonal profiles and experience significantly better sexual function compared to men who are deficient in this crucial nutrient. Now, here's what most people don't realize about vitamin E supplementation, and it's a detail that can make or break your results. Synthetic vitamin E is absolutely not the same as natural vitamin E in terms of bioavailability and effectiveness. Most inexpensive, mass-market supplements contain only one form of vitamin E, synthetic alpha-tocopherol, and that single form is simply not sufficient to provide the full spectrum of antioxidant and hormonal benefits your body requires. For optimal results, you need a comprehensive blend of tocopherols and tocotrienols to achieve the complete antioxidant protection and hormonal support that vitamin E can provide. Natural food sources like raw almonds, sunflower seeds, high-quality olive oil, and dark leafy greens represent excellent places to begin increasing your vitamin E intake through whole foods. When supplementation becomes necessary to reach therapeutic levels, it's essential to choose a natural mixed tocopherol formula rather than the synthetic alternatives that dominate the supplement market. And here's where the science becomes truly fascinating and the results become dramatically more impressive. When you optimize vitamin D, B12, and vitamin E levels simultaneously, something remarkably powerful happens in your body that goes far beyond the individual benefits of each nutrient.
These three essential vitamins don't just work independently in isolation. They amplify and enhance each other's effects in ways that create synergistic improvements throughout your entire system. In my extensive clinical experience working with men over 60, the patients who achieve the most dramatic and lasting improvements in energy levels, libido, sexual performance, and overall confidence aren't the ones who address just one nutritional deficiency at a time. The men who experience truly transformative results are consistently those who take a comprehensive approach and address all three of these critical deficiencies simultaneously. Vitamin D, B12, and vitamin E don't operate as separate, unrelated systems in your body. Instead, they interact with and support one another to optimize the entire integrated network of male vitality, encompassing blood flow, cellular energy production, and hormonal balance.
This represents a systems-based approach to male health optimization, not a piecemeal strategy that addresses symptoms in isolation. Here's how this powerful synergy works in your body. Vitamin D enhances nitric oxide production, which opens up and relaxes your blood vessels for improved circulation. Vitamin B12 ensures that your blood is rich in oxygen-carrying red blood cells, and that this oxygenated blood is delivered efficiently to every tissue that needs it. Vitamin E keeps those blood vessels healthy and protected from damage, while simultaneously supporting the specialized cells responsible for testosterone production. When all three nutrients are present at optimal levels, they create a physiological environment that closely resembles what you experienced in your 30s and 40s, not because of artificial stimulation or pharmaceutical intervention, but because your body's natural systems are being supported exactly the way nature intended them to function.
The peer-reviewed research strongly supports this comprehensive approach. Multiple studies demonstrate that men who maintain optimal levels of vitamin D, B12, and vitamin E consistently perform better across every measurable metric related to energy production, sexual function, and healthy aging patterns. These men don't experience just one isolated improvement. They enjoy a full spectrum enhancement in how they feel mentally, how they think and focus, how they move and exercise, and how they respond during intimate encounters with their partners. So if this nutritional approach is so effective and well supported by research, why don't more men experience these kinds of transformative results? The answer lies in several critical mistakes that most men make when attempting to address these deficiencies on their own.
The first major error is assuming that all vitamin supplements are created equal and will deliver the same results. This assumption couldn't be further from the truth. The vast majority of store-bought supplements are synthetic formulations that are poorly absorbed by the body and often contain nutrients in the wrong chemical form for older adults whose digestive systems have become less efficient over time. For example, vitamin B12 is frequently sold in the form of cyanocobalamin, which requires your liver to convert it into methylcobalamin before your cells can actually use it for energy production. This conversion process becomes significantly less efficient as you age, meaning you may be taking B12 supplements without receiving the full benefits. Similarly, vitamin D2, which is commonly found in inexpensive supplements, is significantly less bioavailable and effective than vitamin D3 for raising and maintaining optimal blood levels. And synthetic vitamin E preparations lack the complete spectrum of tocopherols and tocotrienols that your cells actually require for maximum antioxidant and hormonal support. Research published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition makes this distinction crystal clear. Bioavailability, your body's actual ability to absorb, transport, and utilize a nutrient at the cellular level is absolutely everything when it comes to achieving therapeutic results. As you get older and your digestive efficiency naturally declines, the form and quality of your supplements become more important than ever before. Taking the wrong form of a nutrient is often just as ineffective as taking no supplement at all. The second critical mistake I observe is inconsistency in supplementation patterns. You simply cannot reverse decades-long nutritional deficiencies by taking supplements sporadically or only when you remember. Your body requires daily, steady nutritional support to rebuild cellular energy systems, repair damaged blood vessels, and restore optimal hormonal rhythms.
This isn't about achieving a quick temporary boost in how you feel. This is about making a long-term investment in how you want your body to function and how you want to feel moving forward through your 60s, 70s, and beyond. When I work with men over 60 in my practice, my primary goal is always to simplify their health routine rather than complicate it with dozens of different supplements or an overly complex protocol that becomes difficult to maintain consistently. You don't need to take dozens of pills every day or follow an impossibly complicated supplementation plan. What you need is a focused approach that delivers a few high-impact nutrients consistently, in the right forms, and at therapeutic dosages that can actually make a measurable difference in how you feel and perform.
Here's the baseline protocol that I recommend to men who want to address these 3 critical deficiencies effectively. Each morning, preferably with a protein-rich breakfast to enhance absorption, take your vitamin B12 supplement. The specific form you want to look for is methylcobalamin, not cyanocobalamin. A typical therapeutic dose ranges from 1,000 to 2,000 micrograms daily, though your optimal dose should ultimately be determined based on your individual blood test results and symptom presentation. For men experiencing significant fatigue or those with diagnosed absorption issues, your physician may recommend periodic B12 injections for more rapid and complete restoration of optimal levels. For vitamin D optimization, aim to get 15 to 20 minutes of direct sun exposure on your skin during morning hours, when UVB rays are at their strongest and safest intensity. This natural sun exposure helps stimulate your body's own vitamin D production through your skin, which is the most bioavailable form possible. However, if you live in a northern climate where sun exposure is limited, if it's during winter months when UV intensity is insufficient, or if you spend most of your time indoors due to work or lifestyle factors, a high-quality vitamin D3 supplement providing 2,000 to 4,000 international units daily is generally appropriate for most men. Again, your optimal dose should be guided by periodic blood testing to ensure you're achieving and maintaining levels in the therapeutic range. For vitamin E optimization, I always recommend prioritizing natural food sources whenever possible. Incorporate more raw almonds, sunflower seeds, high-quality extra virgin olive oil, and dark leafy greens into your daily diet. These whole food sources provide the complete spectrum of vitamin E compounds in their most bioavailable forms. If you choose to add vitamin E supplementation to your routine, make absolutely certain that you select a natural mixed tocopherol formula that includes the full range of vitamin E compounds, rather than the synthetic alpha-tocopherol that dominates the supplement market. These 3 targeted nutrients, when taken consistently over time, help address the fundamental root causes of low energy, compromised circulation, and declining sexual performance, not just the surface-level symptoms that most men focus on treating. Clinical research demonstrates that with consistent daily application of this protocol, most men begin noticing measurable improvements in energy levels, mental clarity, and sexual responsiveness within 4 to 8 weeks of starting the program. But what's especially important to understand is the long-term impact of this approach on your overall health and quality of life. These nutrients work together to rebuild and optimize foundational physiological systems, your vascular function, your mitochondrial energy production, and your hormonal axis.